Hi, Robin with Oxy-Dry. I believe this is a Triexta. It's about 5 years old. It's showing a fair amount of wear in some areas. You can see the wear going around the corner. There was actually a carpet protector there. You can see the outline, and the pile is really mushed right beside it. And this carpet does have an issue. They had an elderly cat who passed away not too long ago, and he was doing lots of accidents. There's quite a few peepees. There's a room upstairs where there's even more. And then we've got this hallway at the family room and the bedroom here. There's a few stains in here. There was a bad stain there. It's mostly faded away. I already sprayed it with Suspend with the stabilized ClO2. And that stain, there was one there too. It's mostly faded away. Interesting how that works. Anyway, so let's. And there was a couple of peepees in here, and one there, and one there, and anyway. And I did boost with. I put 3,000 ppm of stabilized ClO2 in my solution. And one of the reasons I will typically do that in a situation like this is it's easy to miss a stain. You might not see it, or there can be an odor issue. And one of the advantages of using the stabilized ClO2 is it's actually a soft surface sanitizer, and it is very effective at removing odors and the urine staining itself. And in fact, I'm almost always successful at dealing with those situations. Oh, I see another one there. You see, that's what happens is the light hits it, and then all of a sudden something that wasn't so obvious suddenly becomes obvious. I saw this one, but I didn't quite see that one. Of course, I can get right along the edge of the wall, no problem. Oh, I see a stain there. I'm gonna hit that with a bit more Suspend. We'll let that sit for a bit while I continue on. The carpet is in the traffic areas. The texture is quite changed, and the customer is very aware of that. I talked to her about that, but the fiber pad is. Oh, I see more staining there. The fiber pad is very effective at lifting and separating the yarn. It doesn't mash it down; it lifts it up. Again, I've posted many videos that demonstrate that. How incredibly effectively the rotary is at doing that. Oh my. This cat is going all over the place. Oh, naughty kitty cat. Well, apparently he was 20 years old, so we'll give him a break. He was old. Perhaps a little senile too. Poor old guy. Ooh, more. Yeah, it's amazing. You know, when I put the light on, things that aren't so obvious just suddenly pop out at you. Oops. So just take your time. Oh, I see another one. It goes under the under that cabinet actually. I kind of debated whether I was going to add the extra stabilized ClO2, and then I thought, you know what? There's going to be more stains than I realize. It always is. So, obviously a good call. And I think there's a room upstairs that has well, it appeared anyway to have more P marks on it. So, oh, lots of fun. There's a little doggy in here too, and he's 12. Doesn't look like he's that old though. He seems to be very healthy. His name is Scooby. Perhaps he will appear before we're done here. Anyway, yesterday I was doing my wax removal, and it actually turned out really well. I got a email from my customer last night after I went home and saying how thrilled they were at the way it turned out, so that's always encouraging. And one of the things I haven't actually posted the videos yet. I was kind of debating whether I was going to, but I guess I will. But or maybe I'll post them before this video goes up. But anyway, one of the things I was not sure of, because I've never been able to get a straight answer about this, is whether or not the roto wash, or multi-wash for that matter, was going to be able to lift the wax effectively off the floor. But then I've seen a few videos where different guys have used the Namco floor wash, which is basically the same thing, and they're obviously using it, and although everybody's using that, I don't know what they call it, the Tornado or whatever, with the it has two brushes as well as suction. It's like, okay, well, why wouldn't the multi-wash basically do the same thing? Because it'll pick up these machines the way they work. So anyway, I did try it, and it worked great. And then, although I should have tried it immediately, I realized, well, let's just go straight to, just instead of scrubbing with my rotary and a red pad, go straight to using the roto wash after I spray the stripper down, let it sit for a bit, and just run the roto wash and see if that'll just pick it up and, you know, agitate, emulsify, and lift up the wax off the floor. And it worked very well. I thought it probably would, but it actually worked better than I thought it would. So that's encouraging. Now I'm really looking forward to another wax job, removal job, because my biggest concern about doing it isn't the actual doing of it, rather is the time involved, because it is time consuming. And if I can effectively remove the wax, and because I work alone, oops, okay, and get it done in a timely manner, then that would be great. And I have the Roto Wash. It's basically new. I've hardly used it at all. I bought it to clean hard floors. That's why I bought it. And I've been moving slowly to doing that. I don't want to bite off more than I can chew, and I've gone step by step. And I've mostly cleaned floors with my OP machine and the rotary, but that was the actual first wood wax removal I've done. I've done wax removal years ago when I worked for a janitorial company, and it's basically the same thing. So anyway, hopefully I'll have more to come before very long. I do have another wood floor job coming up pretty soon. Actually, I think I have two more. Although I think one of them might be wax. I can't remember now. Well, it was unclear, but we'll double check. But it certainly is grubby. And the multi-wash or the Roto Wash work very, very well on hard floors. They're a little pricey a machine, but mind you, the multi-wash is quite a bit less than the Roto Wash. And it's a little bit lighter, so it's a little bit easier to deal with when you're getting into residential type work. You can pick it up. Roto Wash, well, at least the one that I have, I've got the 18-inch, and it weighs about 70 pounds. And I did buy it specifically thinking that it was going to be a machine that would produce the cleaning in a quickly, because it's big enough on some of the larger jobs. Because I've seen, I do a lot of houses that are really quite large, and if they're going to be, okay, and if we're going to be taking wax off of 1,000 or 2,000 square feet, I've got to be efficient at it. That's been my only real reason for hesitating. But the one I did yesterday, it was about 670 square feet. It took me basically from 9 till 4:30, but I did figure out some ways to speed the process up as I was doing it. And but I really enjoyed it. I really wanted to take my time with it and I was after the results, but I think I could probably shave at least 2 or maybe even 3 hours off the time by some of the things I learned. So anyway, that's all part of it. Now the stains that was here, they look like they're gone. There was a pretty obvious urine stain here, and it's gone. There's some interesting stains in this room. I would guess this girl is late teens or early 20s. So sometimes you find interesting stains in young ladies' bedrooms, makeup and stuff like that. Although this one looks pretty good, actually. They usually fall into 2 categories. They're either very, very clean or very, very messy. So we'll just take the time we need. Bad stain right. I can still see that stain a little bit. I can see color there. but it looks way less obvious than before when I first saw it. So we're definitely on the right track with it. Again, I find that the rotary is just superior at getting out stains on, you know, in these situations. It just, because of the action, the way that the pad is moving on carpet, I find it works better than an OP machine, because if I needed to go over back and forth over this with an OP machine, it would be tangling that yarn up like crazy. That's when you end up with tip loom, is when you have to work on a spot or whatever. That's when you're almost, you really run into a risk. And even though, of course, the machine like a Trinity with its larger orbit is less likely to tip loom, the guys that use them admit that, yeah, it still can happen. But with a rotary, because you're just moving in one direction, at a time, as it were, that it just doesn't happen. I've been at it now with these machines for 30 years, and tip looming just doesn't happen. I know people say it does, but news to me. Okay, just want to get along that, right along there a little bit. There was a whole series of little spots right here, and they're all gone. Okay, we're going to switch over, and we're going to use the green stripe. Those stains are gone. Yep. And hang on a sec, I wanted to check something here. What have we got going on here? Not sure. I thought it might have been a burn. Oh, actually, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll try this first. Sometimes this works. I'll leave that sit for a little bit. Alrighty. Again, this green stripe pad is really lifting that pile, separating the yarn. Does a fantastic job of lifting pile, the rotary does, with the right attachment. And you can see I can get right along the wall without any problem at all. It's funny, I know that there are those who say contradictory things about that. I don't know why they do, because, well, maybe because they just haven't had the experience, I guess. I think a lot of people just say things because somebody else tells them, and then they just assume that it's true, even though it's not. But People just parrot what they're told, I guess. But again, I've been posting my videos for many years, showing again and again just how incredibly simply and effectively the rotary will do the job. And you can do the same thing with an OP machine. Of course you can. But I prefer this. And my focus has always been the rotary, and that's why they've been the focus of my channel right from the very beginning. Even though there was a time where I thought I was going to be abandoning the rotary. It was 15 years ago or so. And then I got myself a few OP machines and started using them, and then I decided, no, this is just not the answer. I mean, it's a fine thing. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just the advantages I see with the rotary, and I'm going to continue just saying it. So either system will do the job. But my purpose of my channel is to teach people how to do the SETT method, soil extraction transfer technology, and you can do it either with a rotary or with an OP machine. Either way, you're still removing soil from the carpet with an absorbent pad, transferring the soil out of the carpet. And I don't think there's another channel dedicated to really focused on promoting the use of the rotary. I mean, maybe there is, I'm not sure. But for those guys out there who are rotary users or considering one or the other, well, at least you've got this channel where I just focus on the rotary. I mean, I do have lots of videos using my OP machines, mostly for commercial applications, but this is what I focus on. So can't quite get in that corner, so we will use that initially. There. That was simple. Okay. It's looking really good, actually. It looks like all the stains are coming out without any problem. The stain is looking lighter. Oops. I'm just giving it a light scrub. I'm not agitating it too much, but just enough. There we go. We'll leave that sit a bit again. You can, yeah, these pee-pee marks there are gone. I seem to remember the last time I was here there was a bunch of stains over here that I got out. Okay. And I will be post vacuuming, grooming this carpet, of course, when I'm done, and that'll straighten out the fibers and leave them standing up, because as I'm cleaning with the rotary, it is lifting, separating the pile, making it stand up nice and fluffy again. That's actually one of the comments that I often get from people, is when they walk on the carpet after I clean it, they often will say that the carpet feels much more fluffy, because it is more fluffy, because the rotary is so effective at lifting the carpet yarn with the right attachment. Oh, yeah. Okay. Wait a minute. We're going to go behind the door. Then we'll turn around. We'll go this way. I can still see that mark there a little bit. It could be makeup. That's likely what it is. But what I'll do when I come back down and do the post grooming, I'll try some volatile dry solvent on there. Alright, I think we're done this area, so we're going to head on upstairs. So thank you for watching. Have a good day.